You know how some movies are just instant classics? But then there are others that, well, they take a little while to find their people. Today, we're going to talk about a film that might just be the ultimate example of a masterpiece that showed up like 20 years too early, Zathura.
I mean, it's a fascinating question, isn't it? How does a film that was basically dismissed when it came out suddenly get talked about like it's a classic? That's the mystery we're going to unravel in this explainer, and we're going to use Zathura as our case study. Back in 2005, the whole conversation was just one simple thing. Oh, it's Jumanji in space. That's it. But today, people praise it for the very things that make it so unique, that it's this practical, heartfelt adventure story.
So let's start with the film's greatest strength, its incredible focus. See, Zathura isn't trying to build some giant cinematic universe. Nope. It's just trying to tell one simple story. And man, it tells that story with absolute precision.
Just think about modern blockbusters, right? They so often rely on massive scale, a million characters, and really complex lore. Zathura does the complete opposite. It keeps its world small and contained, and that's exactly where it finds all of its power. The entire epic adventure really boils down to just these core elements. By focusing on two brothers in one house playing one game, the journey feels incredibly personal and, kind of paradoxically, absolutely huge. It just proves you don't need a massive scale to tell a great story. You just need heart.
But a focused story is only part of the equation here. The second key to unlocking Zathura's genius is its deep commitment to practical effects. And this is the reason why, almost 2 decades later, the film feels more tangible and more real than so many of the CGI-heavy blockbusters we see today. This is something you can literally feel when you watch it. The director, Jon Favreau, made a conscious choice to use real sets, real models, and real robotics instead of just leaning on digital effects. And because of that, the world of the film has this genuine physical presence. Just look at these examples, right? When that robot walks, you feel its immense weight. When meteors tear through the living room, it feels genuinely dangerous because a real set is being destroyed. And space. Space isn't some exciting, colorful playground. It's a silent, terrifying void. And that creates this incredible mood and tension. So, what's the big deal here? Well, practical filmmaking connects with us on a subconscious level. Our brains have spent our entire lives learning the physics of the real world. Light, shadow, gravity, texture. We can just tell when something is off. So when something is physically there on set, it automatically obeys those laws. And that creates stakes and an atmosphere that even the best CGI really struggles to replicate.
But look, all the amazing effects in the world wouldn't matter one bit if we didn't care about the characters. And at its core, Zathura isn't really a movie about a house in space. It's a story about two brothers learning to stop hating each other.
You can literally map out their entire emotional journey. Walter and Danny start the film as bitter rivals. The game forces them to become these reluctant allies who have to rely on each other just to survive. And by the end, because of that shared trial, they finally become true brothers. This arc is what gives the whole adventure its meaning. And that emotional journey is anchored by some surprisingly fantastic performances. Seriously, watching the film today is such a unique experience. It's almost like you're unearthing a time capsule of future talent.
The child actors who play the brothers feel completely natural, never forced. Dax Shepard brings this really compelling mystery as the stranded astronaut. But of course, the big surprise for anyone watching today is seeing a pre-Twilight Kristen Stewart as the older sister. It just adds this whole other layer of fascination to the film.
Okay, so let's tackle the elephant in the room, the Jumanji comparison. This was the single biggest reason the film got overlooked, but it was all based on a fundamental misunderstanding of what Zathura was actually trying to do. When you put them side by side, the differences are just striking. I mean, sure, the premise is similar, a magical board game, but the execution could not be more different. Jumanji is a loud, chaotic adventure all about spectacle. Zathura is a quiet, atmospheric, and mysterious film that's focused on the intimate story of two kids trapped in a house. They're two completely different beasts. And this gets us to why the film feels so special today. It was, in so many ways, way ahead of its time. It championed a style of filmmaking, one focused on character, practical effects, and genuine emotion that has, ironically, become kind of a rarity in the blockbuster world. And that's the fascinating thing, isn't it? The more our movies become dominated by green screens and sprawling CGI epics,
the more unique and precious a film like Zathura becomes. Its handcrafted quality makes it stand out more now than it ever did in 2005.
If you take just one thing away from this, let it be this. The film's entire philosophy can be boiled down to one simple idea. Story is stronger than spectacle. It's such a powerful reminder that no matter how much visual flair can ever replace a well-told story with characters you actually care about.
Ultimately, the film's enduring magic is how it just perfectly captures that feeling of being a kid, playing in your living room and letting your imagination completely run wild. It feels like an adventure that was dreamed up by a child, and honestly, that's the highest compliment you can give it.
So, if you've only ever thought of Zathura as Jumanji in space, or if you just haven't seen it in years, maybe it's time to give it another look. You might just discover that a true masterpiece has been hiding there in plain sight all along.